Java Scanner is one of the things that aren't taught very well at school. So in today's tutorial, I will teach you how to get user input using scanner object. Hey, how is it going? It's Anthony with Take a Sip, helping you step-by-step master Java programming. And if you're new here and you're into programming, please consider subscribing. Let's just start up today's tutorial about Java Scanner by creating a new Java project. So right click at the left panel and select Java project. So in here, we're gonna call it Scanner tutorial today. And hit finish, expand that up, and in the source folder, create a new Java class. And in here, I'm gonna call it Java Scanner begin. Make sure to hit the first checkbox and hit finish. Okay. When working with Java, if the user wants to interact with the system by providing information or data, he or she has to type in the data into the console right here. But we already created some Java program in the previous tutorial. They look something like this. So I'm gonna write again, system.out.print the hello world program. Hello world program, and if we run this program, it will show you the hello world. But you can see here we try to input all the string here, but you cannot type in anything here. That is because you haven't specified the standard user input tool. So today I'm gonna introduce to you the scanner class. Okay, now we're gonna create a user input stream and it's called scanner. So I'm gonna delete this line and create a new scanner object. So I'm gonna call scanner and I'm gonna name it scan and assign that to new scanner like this. And this command right here is to let Java know that we are creating a new object, a new scanner object in Java, and to let the user interact with the system. Okay, so before using this object, you need to make sure that you import the library that contain the scanner object. So the library that contain the scanner object is java.util.scanner here. Okay, if you don't want to import the library containing the scanner object manually, make sure that you enable the code suggestion feature in Eclipse. And if you haven't turned on that amazing feature of Eclipse, I created a video showing every step that you can follow to turn that feature on. You can find that video at the top right corner of this video, or I will put the link to that video in the description. So make sure that to check it out. So if you already enable that feature, you just need to type in scanner and hit enter, and it will automatically import the appropriate library for you. So I'm gonna create a scanner and create it by calling new scanner here. Okay, you can see that the part new scanner has the red underline. So that is because I haven't specified the input source for this scanner. So I have to specify the input source in the pair of parentheses right here. So there are a lot of places that you can ask the system to get their input from. You can, if you hover the mouse right here, it can suggest you a lot of input source. But in today's tutorial, we only learn to ask the system to get the input from the standard source, which is via the console right here. So we need to put the system.in in here. And the keyword system.in is the keyword that we tell Java that we are getting the input from what user type in the console right here. Okay, so you can imagine that the scan object here is the object to store everything that you type in the console. So let's say, for example, I have the notepad here and I have two lines, which is the first one is the user, what the user type, and the second line is what the scan object store. So let's say, for example, if the user type in 26 and they hit enter, so the scan object it will store the 26, and they store /n, which is the enter symbol in Java. And then if the user type in take a sip and they hit enter, so the scan will store the take a sip and \n again, because they hit enter, so the new line is inserted into the scan. Okay, you can imagine that the scan object here is the object to store everything that you type in the console here. So let's say, for example, I have the notepad here to explain to you. So I will have two lines. The first line is the user, what the user type in the console, and the second line is what the scan object store. Okay, so if the user type in 26 and they hit enter, so the scan object it will store 26, and they also store the enter that user type in, so it will store the /n, which stand for the enter symbol that the user type in. And if the user type in take a sip and they hit enter again, so in the scanner it will store the take a sip, and they also store the enter symbol, so it's /n again. Okay, so what exactly it means? So let's say, for example, you're writing a program to ask the username and some of their personal information, and then the system will say hello to that user and display those personal information. So today I'm gonna write those program. So let's say, for example, the system will print out the question to ask the username. So let's say, for example, what is your name? What is your name? And then the system will ask another question. System.out.print println. So how many girlfriends do you have? Here. Okay, and if we run the file, you will get what is your name and how many girlfriends do you have here. So you can see here you cannot type in anything into the console because the system doesn't let you to do that. So to make the system wait for the user to type in the first information before displaying the second question, we need to use the scanner here. So before printing the second question, we need to use the scanner. So to use the scanner, we need to use scan.nextLine. So what does it mean? It means that everything that is typed in the console here before the user hit enter will be recorded. So to store the name of the user into the system, we need to specify a string. So I'm gonna specify the string and I'm gonna call it name equal scan.nextLine. So let's say, for example, we're gonna print out the name to check. Okay, I'm gonna print out name. Okay, here, and if we run the file, you can see the system print out the first question and then pause for the user to type in the information. So here, if I type in Alex and then I hit enter, so you will see here the system.out.print is print the name and is print Alex. That is what we expect, right? And then the system print out the second question. Okay, now we're gonna remove this line. Okay, so now we need to ask the system to wait for the user to type in the second information before moving on. So we need to use the scanner, the scan object here. So the user has to put a number in here because the system is asking how many girlfriend do you have. So the user have to put a number here, right? And the user have to put an integer number. So we need to tell the system to get the integer, the next integer. So to do that, we gonna put scan.nextInt, and to store that value into the system, we need to create a new variable. I'm gonna call it number of girlfriend, and assign that to scan.nextInt, and we're gonna test it out right now. So I'm gonna print out the number of girlfriend. Okay, and let's say if we run the file, so here the user wait for us to type in the name. Okay, I'm gonna type in Alex again and hit enter, and now the system is asking how many girlfriend do you have. So I'm gonna type in 0 and then hit enter. So you will see here the system is print out 0 because we enter 0 as the number of girlfriend. Okay, so that is how it should be, right? Here's the thing. Let's say for example, if we run the file again, and here we put Alex again as the name, and then here the system is asking how many girlfriend do you have, and then we don't put 0 and we put like a string in here. And if we put and we hit enter, so you will see here the system is drawing the exception, and the exception is input mismatch exception. That is because the system is expecting the next thing you put in is the integer and then the get the value, but here you put a string in here and it is not an integer, so it will draw the arrow. So to get rid of this arrow, we will discuss later, but for now as a beginner, we just assume that we are typing in the right format. So let's say for example, if we run again and we have to put like here the system is asking for the name, so you can put here for anything. You can put here a number, and here you have to put an integer here. So let's say we put 23 and it will print out 23 as we expecting, right? Now we can ask the system to print out all the user information. So let's say for example, we can print out system.in not print ln, and here we put hello and plus name. So in the previous tutorial, I explained to you that the plus operation in Java, its functionality is to put the second string at the end of the first string. So here we're gonna put the name at the end of the string hello, comma, and space. Okay, and then we're gonna print out the number of girlfriend that the user have. So let's say system.out.print, and we're gonna print out name plus has, and then we put the number of girlfriend that the user have here. So number of girlfriend and plus girlfriend. Okay, let's say if we run the file here. Okay, so I'm gonna type in the username. So I'm gonna type in Bob and hit enter, and now it's asking for the number, so I'm gonna put 0 here and then hit enter. So you can see the system is printing hello Bob, and then it say Bob has 0 girlfriend. I haven't put the space here, so let's just format this a little bit. So let's say for example, I run the file again. So what is your name, and then I put Bob here and I put 0 again, and then you will see here the system is printing hello Bob, and then it's print now Bob has 0 girlfriend. Okay, now we're gonna make the system ask for more information of the user. Okay, now I'm gonna make the editor look bigger so that you can see everything. Now we're gonna make the system ask for more information of the user. So let's say for example, we ask for the user live quote. So we're gonna print out what is your live quote. Okay, here, and now we're gonna make the system wait for a second so that the user can type in the live quote. So the live quote is a string, so we're gonna create a new string and we're gonna name it live quote. And then to type in a string, we need to use scan.nextLine, just as we use in the name. Okay, so I'm gonna write next line. Okay, so here I would print out your live quote is, and then I plus that with live quote. Okay, so let's say for example, if I run the program now, so I'm gonna put in Bob again, and then I enter 0 as the number of girlfriend. Okay, so you will see here the system it doesn't pause for the user to type in the live quote, because you will see here after printing the what is live quote question, and then it will automatically print now hello Bob, which is this line, and it skipped this line. So what is the problem here? To explain this, I'm gonna bring back the notepad again. So in this example, let's clear this a little bit. So in this example, you will see that the user type in Bob, and then they hit enter, right? And then they hit enter, right? And then they type in 0, and then they hit enter again. So right, so in the first scan.nextLine, the user type in Bob and hit enter. So in the scanner, it would take it could store the Bob and then / and n. So what nextLine do is it takes everything in the scanner before the enter key. So it would take the Bob as the value for the name here, and it's clear the scan. So the scan, the next line keyword, it will take everything in the scanner before the / n, and then clear the scanner. So after we call scan.nextLine, it will take the Bob and then assign that value to the name, and then clear the scanner. Okay, and now let's move to the second scan. So here the user type in 0 and then they hit enter key. So the scanner have these value. So when we call scan.nextInt, it would take the next integer that the scan find in the object here, and assign that value to number of girlfriend. So it will clear this, it will delete that value inside the scan object. But you will see here after clear that value, the scan object will it will still have the / n symbol. And so in the next line, you will see the scan object will take everything before the / n. So before / n, it doesn't have anything. So live quote here is empty, and it will clear the scan, and then it will move to the next line. So you will see here the system doesn't pause for the user to type in the live quote. So there's one simple way to fix this. That is, before calling scan.nextLine, we need to clear the scanner first and then get the next line. So here, before calling the scan.nextLine, we have to put here scan.nextLine. The purpose of this is to clear the scanner first and then take the new line. So let's say if we run the file again, so I will enter again. So now I'm gonna put Trish, and then how many girlfriend do you have? I will put 0 again. So you will see here the program pause for to wait for the user to type in the live quote. So I'm gonna type in forever alone, and then I hit enter. So you will see here the program is working properly. So it will print out hello Trish. Trish has 0 girlfriend, and your live quote is forever alone. Okay. Now I'm gonna explain a little bit. So I'm gonna bring back the notepad here. So in the new example, so you will see the user type in Trish, and then they hit enter. So the scanner now, it will contain the Trish, and it also contain the \n, which is the enter key that the user type in. So you will see in the first scan.nextLine, it would take everything before the \n, and that is Trish. And you will see here the system is assigning Trish to the string name. And when we print now name, you will see it print out Trish as we expecting. And in the next scan.nextInt, the user type in. So in the first scan.nextLine, it take the value before the \n, and it clear the scanner, right? So in the second nextInt, the user type in 0, and then we hit enter. So in the scanner object, it will contain 0 and the \n. So the scan.nextInt, it will take the value, the next integer value that it find in the scanner object, and assign that value into the number girlfriend. But it doesn't clear the scanner object, so it just delete the integer in the scanner, and the scanner still have the \n. So the next the scan.nextLine that we put here, it will clear the scanner, and to prepare for the next scan.nextLine. Okay, so in the next scan.nextLine, the scanner is empty, and if the user type in forever alone, and then they hit enter, the scanner object, it will have forever alone, and it will have the \n. So you will see here the scan.nextLine, its functionality is to take everything before the \n, and assign that to the live code right here, and it will also clear the scanner object. So you will see after calling this line, the scanner is empty. So when we print out your live quote and we print out the live quote, you will see the live quote that the user type in is correct, is insert into the console right here. Okay, and that is the most difficult part of Java scanner. So make sure that the next time you ask the user to enter a string, make sure to clear the scanner first by calling scan.nextLine, and then ask the user to enter a string by calling scan.nextLine again to get the string from the user, so that if you do that, you will not make any mistake. Okay, so besides nextInt and nextLine, scanner object, it has a lot of method to get different data types. So let's say, for example, if we make the system to ask for more question, like what is your father name? Okay, what is your father name? And then we will make the system to wait for the user to type in the name. So let's say, for example, we have a string. Let's say we're gonna name it father name here, and we're gonna assign that to scan.next, which is one of the method to get the word. So let's say I have like this. And here I'm gonna print out .out.println, print line, okay, and then I'm gonna print out your father's name is and plus father name, okay. So let's say, for example, I hit run. So in here I'm gonna type in Robin, and I'm gonna type in 0 again, okay, and forever alone. So the system is asking what is your father name, so I'm gonna type in, let's say for example, type in Peter Parker, okay, and then I hit enter. Similar to scan.nextLine, scan.next, it also take the upcoming string that you type in the console, but the difference is the scan.next, it take everything that you type in the console before the space. So you will see here, you type in Peter Parker and then you type in Peter and then space Parker, but it only take the Peter. So the scan.next, it only take the string before the space. Okay, so that is the difference between scan.next and scan.nextLine. Okay, so beside scan.nextLine, scan.nextInt, scan.next, we also have many different methods to get different data types. So let's say we have double, and we're gonna get a double from the console by typing scan.next next double. Okay, so the next method is float and scan.next float, okay, and boolean flag, I'm gonna name it flag, and we're gonna get a boolean from the console by calling scan.next boolean. Okay, so that is all the useful method for the scanner object here. And if this tutorial is helpful, smash the like button and share if you think it can help someone you know. You could be anywhere in the world, but you are here today. I really appreciate that.